Well, good morning, friends. Jagender Rana here. So, the topic of the day is industrial all risk insurance. The industrial all risk insurance policy was created to cover major manufacturing industrial risks with broader and more complicated exposures than typical fire and allied insurance policies could handle. So, the policy is created as a multi-line product that allows a client to select from a variety of sections. So this is a comprehensive package policy that covers practically all risks and perils that a large industry may encounter throughout its operations. This insurance provides reinstatement value coverage for buildings, machinery, furniture, fixtures, fittings, and electrical systems. While stock is covered on a market value basis, if the underinsurance on each item of the schedule does not exceed 15% of the total sum insured, it will be ignored. So, for a period of 60 days, the policy also covers equipment and machinery sent for maintenance outside the premises. The risk of transit within an industry's compound is also covered. The policy is a comprehensive package policy which covers almost all risks and perils which a large industry may face during its operations. So this policy covers building, machinery, furniture fixtures, fittings and electrical installations on reinstatement value while the stock is covered on market value basis. So let us see what are the covered risks under the policy. Bursting and overflowing of water tanks, apparatus and pipes, deterioration of stock due to power failure following damage to premises of public power stations and electric service feeders for cold storage, forest fire, leakage and contamination cover, spoilage material damage cover, sprinkler leakage cover, subterranean fire, spontaneous and landslide cover, burglary other than larceny, machinery breakdown, boiler explosion, electric equipment business interruption following fire, business interruption following machinery breakdown also is covered. So, in the event of any accidental physical loss or damage to property caused by peril not excluded, policy will pay the value of the property as on date of loss or at its option, reinstate or replace such property or any part thereof. So, as regard building, plant and machinery, furniture, fixtures, fittings, etc., the cost of replacement or reinstatement on the date of replacement or reinstatement subject to maximum of sum insured. And as regards stock, the market value of damaged items subject to maximum of the sum insured. So the policy was designed to cover industrial and manufacturing risk other than risk rated under petrochemical tariff having material damage sum insured of rupees 100 crore at one or more locations. Now the eligibility limit has been reduced as filed by the individual insurance companies to IRDA. Now this policy can be issued for the sum insured over 50 crores. Policy has two major sections. Section 1 is material damage, that is fire, MBD, electrical, mechanical and electronic boiler with boiler explosion, theft and burglary. Section 2 business interruption, that is FLOP compulsory and MLOP optional. So as per tariff, 100% machinery to be covered without selection. Cost of piping and cabling may be removed for premium computation, but it remains covered. All risk policy subject to specific exclusions. Excluded causes, excluded property insurance on reinstatement value basis. Stock can be insured at market value basis. Under insurance on section 1, that is material damage section, is waived up to 50%. Full under insurance is applicable if sum insured is found below 85% of current reinstatement value of damaged property No depreciation reduction in machinery breakdown claims, no overhauling warranty for turbines, generators, and heavy duty electrical motors as attached to normal machinery breakdown policies. Theft burglary is included, terrorism cover optional, maximum rupees 2000 crores at any location as per pool norms. Business interruption cover can be extended to include suppliers, customers' premises, and utility supply extension at extra premium. Prevention of access cover can be given at additional PM. Denial of access is not allowed by GIC as TT restriction. Transit risk within the plant premises is covered. So the declaration facility is not available on stocks, but after de-tariffing, companies are allowing by attaching a declaration clause subject to charging extra access as applicable to IR policy. Among the major exclusions, damage to the property caused by faulty or defective design, materials or workmanship, inherent vice, wear and tear, etc. are not covered. Interruption of water supply, gas, electricity or fuel systems are excluded. Collapse or cracking of the building, willful act or gross negligence, war, invasion, mutiny, revolution, etc. Damage direct or indirectly caused by nuclear weapons, material and contamination by radioactivity are also excluded. Policy also does not cover damage to property insured caused by faulty or defective design, interruption of water supply. If a portion of building is damaged due to defective design or subsequently entire building collapse due to storm, insured shall get loss in respect of damage due to storm and not for direct design defect. So in a chemical plant, if a reactor made of stainless steel fails due to reduction in reactor shell plate thickness, which causes rupture of shell and subsequent and surrounding property catches fire because chemical spillage. So in that situation, if it is established in subsequent investigations that the reduction in reactor wall thickness was gradual in nature, that is due to corrosion, then damage to reactor is not payable, but consequential ensuing damages to property due to subsequent fire would be payable as ensuing damages. So there are certain excluded properties like land including topsoil, backfill drainage or culverts, driveways, pavements, road, runways, railway lines, dams, reservoirs, canals, rigs, wells, pipelines, tunnels, bridges, docks, piers, jetties, excavations, wharves, mining property, underground, offshore property, unless specifically covered. So property damaged as a result of its undergoing any processes. Property undergoing testing installations, including material if damaged thereto, is directly attributable to the operations of work performed thereon, unless damage by a cause not excluded in the policy ensues, and then the insurer shall be liable only for such ensuing losses. So property more specifically insured elsewhere. Property if removed to any other building or place except machinery or equipment temporarily removed for repairs for a period not exceeding 60 days. There are important terms and conditions like this policy shall be voidable in the event of misrepresentations, misdescriptions or non-disclosure of any material particular. No liability after 7 days from the date of fall or displacement of any building unless it is caused by a peril not excluded in policy. No liability if the trade or manufacture carried on be altered in such a way that it increases the risk of loss or damage to insured property. No automatic reinstatement of sum insured. RIP to be charged from date of loss till expiry on pro rata basis. If the property hereby insured shall at any time or at the time of reinstatement or replacement repair is of greater value than the sum insured, Then claim shall attract under insurance provided the sum insured of damaged property is not less than 85% of the reinstatement cost, because waiver of under insurance of 15% is there. So no liability if the trade or manufacturing activity is altered or the property remains unoccupied for more than 30 days. No liability if the interest passes on to other persons by bill or by operation of law. Reinstatement to be completed within 12 months from the date of loss, failing which the insured will not be entitled for reinstatement value basis settlement. In case of total destruction of property, replacement, reinstatement by property of similar nature not better than the original property. No liability for any loss or damage after the expiration of 12 months from date of loss or damage unless the claim is the subject of pending action or arbitration. Sum insured, it is a requirement of this insurance that the sum insured shall not be less than the actual cost of replacement, which shall mean the cost of replacement of the insured items by new items in a condition equal to but not better or more extensive than its condition when new. Basis of loss settlement. In the event of any loss, destruction or damage, the indemnification under this section shall be calculated on the basis of the reinstatement or replacement of the property lost, destroyed or damaged as on date of actual reinstatement, subject to the provisions like the work of reinstatement must be commenced and carried out within 12 months after the loss, otherwise insured will lose all benefits of this policy and claim shall be settled on indemnity basis. In case of damage to part of the property, insurer will not be liable to pay more than reconstruction cost of damaged property until insured incurs cost in replacement of damaged property. Payment shall be restricted to actual cash value of such items immediately before the date of loss, with the deductions for depreciations for age, use and conditions. So RIB cost shall be payable only when cost is actually incurred in the statement of damaged property. So this IER policy is a policy that is comprehensive, practical and cost effective. All risk in nature. There is not a named peril policy. This is not a named peril policy. Except for a few particular exceptions, all damages are covered. Policy is a single document which also covers the burglary losses, both MD, material damage and business interruptions are covered. Inside an industrial compound, the risk of transit is covered. Due to lower rates, machinery breakdown cover can save you a lot of money on premiums. So for limited life equipment, no depreciation is subtracted from the machinery breakdown loss, maybe total or partial. Compulsory business interruption due to fire and other hazards. Optional business interruption due to machinery failure, boiler explosion or electronic equipment failure. This optional is machinery business interruption for machineries. So that is called MLOP. Petrochemical risks are not covered by the IER policy. So if this policy is taken in comparison to a fire insurance policy, this policy covers a broader range of dangers. It allows the insurers to protect their organizations against a broader range of dangers, not simply fire. Insurers can also use the industrial loss policy to secure a stronger coverage against losses caused by machinery damage. The policy will pay losses incurred by a company when its commercial operations are disrupted or halted. And industrial loss policy is applicable to all industrial risks except those rateable under the petrochemical tariff, with an overall sum insured of rupees 50 crore or more in one or more locations in India, except for those risks perils specifically excluded in the policy. So this policy offers coverage against all these perils. So this policy protects your business in the event of damage to the material This comprises property damage that necessitates the replacement of assets such as building, fixtures, inventory, and so on. Thank you. Thank you very much.